up, bro? I need your business card. Like I have. I got a family. They call me. They're in our church. He's got bone cancer. He's 35 years old. And he's got 5 kids. So, FYI.
All right.
And that's pretty good to reach out to you.
Okay.
Because I talked to you about it.
Yeah. And they live in the township?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They just rely on behind it.
I always want to make sure.
That is my expense report.
Yes, you need all your bills and cash.
Absolutely. I'm ready to do it.
I should call to order the budget hearing in DuPage Township Supervisors and Board of Trustees on Tuesday, November 21st. Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, Linda?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you have a roll call performed?
Trustee Braxton.
Here.
Trustee Ransom. Here. Trustee Savage.
Here.
Trustee Townsend. Here. Supervisor Marcy.
Here. This is a public forum on an amendment to the FY 2023 to 2024 budget. Basically, what it does is in our capital funds account, we are adding $380,000 to that line item, and that is from surplus from the last fiscal year. And the floor is open for discussion. If anyone would like to make any comments from the public.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Linda Ellis, and I have two questions. And the first question was answered when you gave me all of the surpluses. The DuPage has received throughout the year, and then are there any plans for those surpluses to go back to the taxpayers as requested?
Next, Judy, would you?
Judy Brennan. I was asked to ask two questions of you, but one is for the other meeting when you continue on. But my first one echoes Linda. Why aren't you returning your surplus to the property owners who gave you the money to begin with? If you remember way back when, a year ago, I asked you to lower your levy by $500,000, and you didn't do it. You continued to levy, and now you got a surplus. Why don't you give it back to the taxpayers who gave it to you to begin with at your demand?
Next is the last name Ellis. Okay. Klepke. I'm not sure what
My name is Diane Pfeffer, K-L-O-E-P-F-E-R. Sorry. I have a question about this $380,000 surplus. That's a massive amount of money to have a budget overage, and it would be irresponsible of you not to return that to the taxpayers that the money was taken from. You also should consider reducing your levy next year, since you are doing so well fiscally. Thank you.
Next is Monty Lair.
My question has been asked.
Okay. Just come up.
My question has been asked, and I wait your answer.
The next is Kasim Rashid. Now, are you wanting to talk about the budget, or are you waiting for the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Are there any other comments? Okay. Any discussion among the trustees? Do you have any questions or anything? I gave you in front of you the resolution that we passed in 2021, basically establishing the capital improvement fund. And basically, this is why we're transferring the money into it, because there are several projects that we have that we need to fund capital improvements, such as Bluff Road is one of them. Okay. The expanded parking that we have that we want to do for the Lady Center here over to on this side, the north side and the south side. Okay. Repaving the parking lot and several other projects which have been kicked down the road for year after year after year. And rather than doing these capital projects and like expanding the Levy Center here, which actually previous administration had gotten architectural drawings and engineering to expand the Levy Center, these two patios out there. But what happened is rather than doing that, they gave out grants to all these other illegal grants, by the way. They gave out hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in illegal grants to all these different organizations. So now we're doing a projects to improve the Levy Center and the administration and also the food pantry. If there's no other questions on that,
Well, I think that, excuse me, I think that has answered why we're putting this money where it is.
yes, and we can't spend money on any capital improvement unless we have the line item in the budget to basically pull it from. If there's no other discussion in that, I entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom. Aye. Trustee Savage.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend. Aye. Supervisor Marshall.
Aye. We adjourn this. We will give 3 minutes and then we'll start the regular monthly meeting. Has everybody got an agenda for the regular meeting?
If they don't, again,
There was a time.
One more minute. Okay. Well, at this time, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the DuPage Township Supervisory Board of Trustees for Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. Tom, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Braxton.
Here.
Trustee Savage.
Here.
Trustee Ransom. Here. Trustee Townsend. Here. Supervisor Marshall.
Here. At this time, I entertain a motion to approval of the agenda. Second. Okay, any discussion? If not, Madam Clerk,
Trustee Braxton.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Ransom. Aye. Trustee Savage.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend. Aye. Supervisor Marshall.
Aye. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the October 17, 2023 board meeting. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion, any deletions, any additions, or anything else on the minutes? Have you read them? If not, would you please call the roll, Madam?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom. Here. Trustee Savage.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend. Aye. Supervisor Marshall.
Aye. Next on the item is public comments. Anyone who wishes to make comments? I think Kasim, you were next. Oh. Oh, yeah. You want to give her the mic, please?
I'm getting too old for this. I have two comments. First of all, quit blaming Bluff Road on previous administrations. You have been a supervisor now for 2.5 years. State Representative E. Avalar, when she was here with her report, said she reappropriated the money for Bluff Road the last 3 years, and you haven't used it yet. And quit blaming the previous administration for patching it. The money is there to repair Bluff Road, do it. Second of all, this regards Boardman Cemetery. The garden club went out there to plant flowers, and guess what? The water was turned off again. $200 a year, $240 a year to keep the water on out there. For Halloween night, the Preservation Commission went out there to do the annual ghost walk for the cemetery, and again, the water was shut off. I can understand if you want to shut it off during the winter, which would save you half of $240, but please leave it on when there are activities out there. And those are the two items that I was asked to bring forward. Thank you.
I'm gonna respond to that. First of all, as usual, Judy, you're totally wrong. Okay? As far as the state funding for Bluff Road, we have been in constant contact with, Representative Avalar's office. The state of Illinois is like a snail as far as putting out money for these projects. We have pushed and pushed and pushed, okay? And they're just putting out money this year that was appropriated 3 years ago for projects. So as soon as we get the money, Bluff Road will be worked on. First of all, the money that we have been appropriated by the Avalar will not do the entire Bluff Road. Okay? We need more money for that. But to say that we have been slow or anything, we have been in constant contact. We've been pushing for it, and we haven't gotten the money yet. And that's because the state of Illinois and the legislature is so slow. When they appropriate money, they don't hand you a check overnight. Okay. Secondly, the water at the cemetery has never been turned off. We just paid a bill on it. How much was it?
Approximately $45.
Yeah. So it has not been turned off whatsoever. So I have no idea where you get your information from, but like I said, you're totally wrong.
It was off.
Next, who would like to speak?
Jesus.
Councilman, welcome. Good evening, my name is Qasim Rashid. I am a human rights lawyer and a married father of 3. My wife and I are about to celebrate our 16-year anniversary this Friday. I've lived in this community for a long time. I've lived in Bolingbrook for about a decade. Currently, my family and I live in the neighborhood. I want to speak about the global events and their local impact. As a human rights lawyer, I've studied this issue for a long time. And I want to talk just about 2 aspects. One as a human and one as a human rights lawyer. Start as a human being. Right now, anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, anti-Jewish hatred, anti-Palestinian hatred are on record highs in this country. As someone who's a 19-year-old student at North Central College when 9/11 happened, I've experienced it before, but I feel like it's much worse. In our anger, we are at risk of losing our humanity and one another. Right now, we're reeling from the October 7th attack by Hamas that killed 1,200 Israeli civilians, but we're continuing to reel from the horrific bombing of Gaza, which has killed 13,000 civilians, including 6,000 innocent children. As a human rights lawyer, I can tell you that the response to grotesque violence and war crimes cannot be more war crimes. As a nation, we are bound by a code of ethics that we must uphold, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Two things can be true at once. We condemn the violence by Hamas perpetrators on Israeli civilians, and we can condemn a response that commits 10x violence on Gazan civilians. In the short time I have, I want to point out that when it comes to human rights law, it cannot be selective. This is not a buffet. Human rights law holds first the Leahy Amendment, which is the U.S. law which forbids us from providing military aid when the knowledge exists that is being used to commit human rights violations, something that Amnesty International, the UN, Israeli human rights watchdog organizations are admitting to. As a human rights lawyer, I can tell you that collective punishment of 2.2 million people violates our code of ethics, specifically condemned by the Geneva Convention's Article 3. As a human rights lawyer, I can tell you that the attack on children has zero justification and is considered one of the 6 grave violations condemned by the UN Security Council. And as a human rights lawyer, I can tell you that collective punishment and disproportionate response is a violation of Rule 14 of international human rights law. I close with the words of James Baldwin, who reminds us that the children are always ours. Every single one of them, all over the globe, and I'm starting to suspect that whoever is incapable of recognizing this may be incapable of morality. Let us recognize the humanity of all people, the needs of all children, and find ways to build bridges of compassion and understanding and uphold justice as our supreme standard for all people in our organization and all states. Thank you so much.
Are there any other persons wanting to make any public comments?
I would like to, my name is Patty Durbin. I'm a longtime resident here in Bolingbrook as well. I want to thank you, Rain, for putting together the vigil for that little boy that died last month. Regarding the hate that seems to have invested itself over here in America now. And I also want to thank you personally, Rain, for keeping your head above the fray, because the bullies are coming out in mass right now against you specifically because you're Palestinian and because you have the audacity to defend people who were being massacred over in Palestine. We once again, 100% do not condone what Hamas did, and I do not condone what is being done right now to the Palestinian people. We need to be cognizant of that. So I appreciate you. I thank you for all the hard work that you do on this board. And I just thank you. I appreciate you.
Are there any other public comments? If not, I'll close the public comments section. As far as the supervisor's report, there's a couple things that we're going to go over, but I will leave it to the people who want to present those statements, such as the food giveaway and also some other items. So the next thing is the action items. We have an emergency repair that we have approved, and that is to the the 2015 Chevy Silverado. It was an emergency, and it was $2,563.20. And so that has been completed, but by statute, we need to approve it at the next board meeting. So I would entertain a motion to approve the emergency repair of the 2015 Chevy Silverado.
So moved.
Sorry. Okay. Is there any discussion? If not, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Trustee Braxton. Trustee Ransom. Trustee Savage.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend.
Aye.
Supervisor Marshall.
Aye. Next item on the agenda is the food pantry proposed holiday schedule. Does everyone have the schedule? Because of the holiday, the food pantry will be closed on certain days, and if you look at it, it's pretty comprehensive. I would entertain a motion to approve the holiday schedule for the food pantry.
I move that we approve. Sorry. The mic, it doesn't work. Oh, there's one bad. This is the bad mic. But anyway, I move that we approve the holiday hours for the pantry. What are you doing over there, Terry?
I just told you something. I'm looking for Terry and she. You have a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on the schedule? If not, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Savage.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend. Aye. Trustee Townsend. Aye. Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Supervisor Marshall.
Aye. Next item is the Resolution 2321, which is the revision of the 2023 to 2024 budget. And that is adding $380,000 to the capital funds line item. I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. I'll second.
Okay, now, any discussion on it, questions or anything?
You explained it well before.
Well, what it comes out to be is, we cannot spend anything out of the budget that is not, in the budget. So, we have to have it, and there are capital improvements that we're looking at. If there's no discussion, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom.
Aye.
Trustee Savage.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend. Aye. Supervisor Marshall.
Aye. The next item is the executive session. At advice of counsel, you will not be going to executive session in this board meeting. So, following that, we have the approval of the township bills and claims. I would entertain a motion to approve the bills and claims.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Any questions on it? If not, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Trustee Braxton.
Aye.
Trustee Ransom. Aye. Trustee Savage.
Aye.
Trustee Townsend. Aye. Supervisor Marshall.
Aye. Next are reports from the administrative staff and contractors. Do you have anything from the legal?
We do not.
Okay, nothing there. Okay, village administrator. Your report.
Township administrator?
A Freudian slip.
Yes, I know, okay. I know we have them on our mind these days.
Yeah.
In fact, I attended several meetings this month with our attorneys regarding the zoning situation, and also we got attended several meetings this month regarding the zoning for the food pantry, and continue to work on additional traffic studies. Those things are complete now, and they've been submitted to the village. We've done a lot of committee event planning for the youth committee. Got everything ready for the holiday event that's going to take place on December 16th for the children in our community. Over 200, just slightly over 200, have signed up so far, and they're going to get to decorate cookies and hear story time and lots of fun activities, including spinning on Santas. Yeah. Mr. Collector. So that'll be fun. We've done a lot of repair work this month. One project went a awry, and the vendor that was working on the project is going to be repairing the problem that they created while they were trying to fix the problem. And that's on one of the windows over here. We're getting a new window now. Hopefully, that will be done before Christmas. And we have the Township Officials of Illinois Conference that several of us attended. I went to the Paid Leave for All Workers Act session, one on the tax levy and one also on the budget. We are seeking volunteers, and I think we have some postings on Facebook, and if it's not on our website, I'll see to it that it's up tomorrow. We're looking for volunteers to help us on Saturday morning between 8 a.m. and noon at our local Jewel food store here in Bolingbrook, collecting donations for the food pantry. If you are interested in helping out, we're doing 2-hour stints with 2 people. So from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. if you're an early riser, and then from 10 a.m. to noon. And I need 2 volunteers for each of those shifts. The supervisor already explained that the water is not shut off at the cemetery, and I definitely want to reinforce that. We have inspected and done repairs on the plow equipment. In fact, we have one more repair on the other vehicle, the Ford, that needs to be done. And I know that our maintenance crew will take care of it before we have snow. Parking lot striping is done, and we handed out a lot of turkeys this week. Today we did Greenleaf, Mackenzie Falls, and Romeoville Gardens, and altogether the total was 425 Thanksgiving meals to seniors in need. On Saturday, we saw over 365 families, serving approximately 1,338 individuals within those homes. And we've got some stragglers that have been coming all week to pick up their packages, which is great. But we had a fantastic donation that made a lot of this possible without using tax funds. And that was from West Liberty Foods. And it was courtesy of the fact that, unfortunately, Boston Market went out of business. We received in the neighborhood of over 2,000 turkey breasts that were fully cooked and froze solid. And we delivered those to the seniors, and just was really, really good. It helped save us a lot of money. Wheatland Township, we gave 16 cases of those turkey breasts to them. Morning Star Mission received 50 cases. Family Average Pantry received 22. And we even managed to supply the Northern Illinois Food Bank in Joliet with 25 cases. That was on top of what we used. So it was a really, really good donation. And
one thing I'd like to take interesting on that is I looked at the poundage on it, and it was 2.5 tons of turkey breast, 5,983 pounds.
yeah, just an amazing amount of food that, might otherwise have gone to waste. And some places might have just dumped it in the dumpster. But this company was smart enough through, I guess, our previous connections. Dave Locke, our food pantry manager, has very good relationships throughout the community and continues to build. So we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the Levy Center Director.
Hi, we're super busy at the Levy Center. After a fun fall, we're moving into the slow winter months, but not very busy. We're actually packed. We finish out November with a Christmas craft sale of all our clubs next Tuesday. Wednesday, we're going to the Paramount Theater to see Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Ending out the month, we're taking 50 seniors to Double A's Buffet. December starts off with back-to-back lunch and learn. First is the Bolingbrook Fire Department, where we're going to teach CPR as well as safety and homes for seniors. Tuesday, we have a cardiologist, Dr. Celine from Midwest Cardiovascular Institute, teaching seniors about their heart and how all those cookies and pies eventually catch up with us. Where's my glass? Also in December, we're going to our annual Naperville Traveling Tour, Cinderella at the Drury Lane Luncheon Movie. Of course, we have watched It's a Wonderful Life. We're going to do a dinner bunch over at Caracas, followed by a bus tour of the Bolingbrook decorated homes. We're hosting our first noonish pajama party. And of course, our annual Christmas party is on December 15th at noon. Meals on Wheels continues to serve approximately 185 meals a day out of our senior center kitchen, as well as morning healthy snacks for our exercise programs on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So they provide approximately 150 mini breakfasts, which is kind of cool, free to our seniors. Our TA was here last week giving Lori and Marion some training on their new website. AARP also stopped out for a visit. We're really excited to get a new software program that we're going to put on our computers that will definitely speed up how we're able to process and set the appointments. Everything's going to be done online. The reminders, if they provide us with an email, the reminder will automatically go out. Their goal this year is to prepare 340 tax returns for our seniors. That's all I have.
Okay, thanks very much. General assistance.
I already handed out the report to the trustees and everything. I know everybody loves when I put the months. Unfortunately, it longer this time around. Just to summarize, just some of the more of the activities. You can see the numbers in terms of the activity for the month of August or October. But this past month, I participated in a training through MTA, the Metropolitan Township Association, updates to some of the new laws that were passed this past year. One of them being goes into effect on January 1st, and that is where townships are going to be given more availability to use general assistance funds to either directly or in cooperation with other governmental bodies or nonprofits to provide services to residents. And it's outlined in the public aid code and all that stuff. So, so that's something that the board has to provide a policy in terms of what services they would provide, but in the end, though, the township had a little bit more flexibility in how to use GA funds not only for general assistance, emergency assistance, but also in providing services either directly or in cooperation with another nonprofit or government body. And that law takes effect January 1st. Last week, Jackie and I were actually at a quarterly community partner meeting with Valley School District. Every quarter they have a meeting with all their community partners. At the meeting, someone had actually mentioned that their organization, is Expansion Community Center, they were part of the IRIS network, IRIS, I-R-I-S, information referral, information system. Basically what it is that, this was part of the conversation that we had during the meeting, was we can get out referrals left and right, tell folks where to go, here's the way, and whatnot. And this IRIS network is a community-based online platform where an organization can use this platform, and let's say the Smith family goes to the Will County Health Department, because they're the ones that oversee the network. And the Smith family happens to say, hey, we're behind on our rent and our utility bills. And they happen, and the health department happens to notice that they live in Walmart, that they can go in the system, make a referral to, let's say, for example, us, and say, hey, we are, the Smith family needs help with their rent or utilities, can you reach out to them? And so they would, communicate with us, and we would reach out to the Smith family. So the way we kind of worded it was that they closed up that loop in terms of having that referral, so not just going out there and going, oh, well, finally, go to township. We can tell people, yeah, go wherever you want, so. I mentioned it's a supermarket from our street, there's no cost to us, but kind of looking into more information with that. One piece of information I did, I'll end with this, one piece of information I did forget to put on my little report. We did have 146 households come to the township to apply for land in the month of October. So that was a blessing. Any questions? It's a cabinet month.
Any questions? Thanks very much. Next is the elected officials reports. Mr. Assessor.
Good evening. As you know, this year was a annual reassessment year, also known as a quad year, where all the property owners receive a revised notice of assessment from the Will County Supervisor Assessment. There was 11,703 parcels changed by us, my office, increase or decreases for all classes of property before the county issued a multiplier. As you know, the county issued a multiplier on top of our assessment. The industrial property received a 1.05 increase on land and improvement, along with any individual changes. Commercial property was looked at individually by use. The residential group were looked at individually for changes, and they received an 11% increase by the county. So, other those, the Board of Appeals. For our township, there was 182 appeals involving 188 parcels, 117 residential, 30 commercial, and 41 industrial. The reason for the complaints, it varies, as you can, the complaint can choose more than one reason, but for the most part, 27 involved recent sales, 81 involved comparable sales, and 99 involved what we call equity. The number of appeals, they were down for this quad year, even with the large multiplier in at the county level. We attribute this to the increased value over the last several years. But it should be noted that our township was not the only township that received a large multiplier. 20 of the 24 townships received over 5% increase, and of those 20, 11 was over 9%. So, as I stated previously, we had 188 appeal parcels. In the quad year 2019, we had 255 appeals, and for 2015, we had 372 appeals. We proud of the result we got with our withdrawals, where we negotiated with the taxpayer and or their attorneys, and the withdrawals are hardest to get when we're dealing with appeals. Our evidence was so convincing that most of the attorneys agreed to withdraw their appeals. So that was about 188 appeals, 25 withdrew, which was about 13.3%. 2015 it was 7% that withdrew, and 2019 it was 5.8% that withdrew. We also had what they call stipulation, where we negotiated property owner, we come to an agreement, what we call stipulation, thereby avoiding the hearing. We still have quite a few hearings with the Board of Review. The evidence has been submitted by us. We have 53 residential and 2 commercial industrial properties. So the Will County Board of Review will be closing up their books at the end of 2023, and the updated decisions and the numbers will be final at that time. So that concludes my report.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Next, I will have a report from our township clerk.
Well, I had the honor this past weekend of being down in Springfield, Illinois, and receiving an award for the best township for the senior group. I joined this organization, I cast this about in June, I think, and I attended a bunch of meetings, and I was very excited to learn that they give out awards. They have 6 categories, 5 of which are individual, and 1 is for Township of the Year. I decided, because we do such wonderful things here, that I would nominate our township to be Township of the Year because of the board that's wonderful that we have, the staff that we have, plans and executes great events. We have a lot of volunteers. But mainly, we have the best seniors, I think, of any group around, that it makes it easy for all of us to want to do more for them. And I wrote a 2-page nomination report and sent 2 pages of photos, and we won Township of the Year. Everybody, thank you very much. I'm so excited for all the hard work that our staff does here, that it paid off, and we got this great award. So thank you everyone for all your hard work. And then I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and take care and see you next time. I have to tell you, when I got up there, I was so excited, we didn't know we were going to win. And I was just like, ah! And I still am, because it's a great honor for our staff and everybody that's sitting up here. Thank you, that's all I have.
You can see why I didn't want to take any place.
I know, I wouldn't shut the knees, Gary.
Next is the trustees report. Tom?
Well, I think I'm surprised. I didn't tail end of the thing. But no, kudos to the senior program, Linda and the rest of the staff here. But this is a statewide award. It's a big deal. It's really, it's,
There are 40-some senior centers that are run by townships. And so we were.
Gary, not only that, run by township, there's a lot of groups that are not affiliated with townships that also apply for some of these awards. So we beat out over 100 groups to get this award.
So, yeah, congratulations all the way around. This is a great tribute to the work done for the senior program. This stuff happens here at the Levy Center. And then, of course, Jackie alluded to this, but the food distribution for Thanksgiving, we did this on Saturday, 365 plus or minus, and there were more folks who had registered for it, who weren't able to make it on Saturday. They're going to come back and pick up some goods.
Yeah, there's like 115 tickets outstanding.
You know,
because we passed out 480 tickets. So there's 115 families that did not take up their meals on Saturday.
Dave Black, who manages the food pantry center, he's already gotten inquiries from many of those folks. They want to find out when and how they can pick up the stuff that they had tickets for. But it's just good all the way around. Clearly, it was it's rewarding to do that. We were all there and helping people get their food, and through the people and families who were receiving these things were appreciative. It's a good feeling all the way around. And Barb talked about the township officers, officials conference we were at previous weekend. And yeah, it was really a productive thing. I mean, I was able to attend several of the sessions there, training sessions, one intergovernmental agreements, and that's, so that was valuable. But also the trustee association, which I was able to attend, and then the statewide association. And then also a training for township statutory guidance, which is obviously important to know. But it's, these are all very useful things, and so it was a good program. And we got an award. That's all good. And just as she said, I want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving, all is good for you. And I do want to echo what Mr. Rashid was saying earlier. And we all hope for peace and hope that eventually touches all of us. So, that's what I got to say.
Thanks, Tom. Terry?
Good evening. I don't have a report. Just wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and just share. I'm so grateful that you submitted our senior services for that award. It was just really exciting to receive that. We were in Springfield. And then the other thing I just wanted to say that it's just been so rewarding. My work that well. But it's been so rewarding these last couple of days, just being able to help families in our community receive food for the holidays. It's just a rewarding experience. If you've never experienced it, give it a try. It's a great way to volunteer and help others. And we did a great job, so thanks to all of us, the township, for being able to give back to our community. We're here to be of service. So that's it for me.
Thanks, Terry. Deborah?
That's me over here. He's very confused still that somebody moved us. So happy birthday first to our trustee Reem, as well as Clerk Barb. So happy birthday to you all. There was some breaking news during our meeting that apparently there is some sort of ceasefire agreement that the Israelis and Hamas have made to get out 50 hostages. So that's relatively good news. But what I wanted to say, I wish people in general here and worldwide would espouse tolerance, mutual respect, and stop the inflammatory rhetoric and display of anger and hostility that seem to come to these meetings too. We can disagree, but we can always work together, and we can focus on what we have more in common than what we don't have in common. And I'd like to take us back to a time that was so much better in politics when people could actually disagree and get along, like Ted Kennedy and John McCain. So if we can try to remember those folks, many of us in the room are old enough to remember them, maybe we could get there. And then from a priest's homily at my dear cousin's funeral this past weekend, we have an unknown amount of time here on earth, and we of course don't know how much time we actually have. And we need to spend our time wisely, helping others, being humble, and caring for others. And I hope that we can really think about that as this political season is going to ramp up. I know people don't always agree what we do here at the township, but you need to be respectful ideally, and you need a mutual respect. And when I came to meetings in the previous administration, I was respectful as well, and did not go off half-cocked when they were doing that. And as a nurse, I must say, sadly, COVID is surging again. Some of our nursing homes are really having some major problems, as are the hospitals and the ERs. So please, if you haven't been vaccinated, get yourself vaccinated for yourself and others, and try to stay healthy this season, and a very happy, wonderful Thanksgiving for everyone this year.
Thank you. Reem?
Hi, everyone. So happy birthday to Mark yesterday, and thank you to those who wished me happy birthday. I just wanted to echo what Terry said, which was thanking everybody for volunteering their time to deliver food to those that needed it. And also for echoing on to what Terry said, thank you for submitting us. That's a lot of work to write 2 pages, because you can provide all of this evidence as to why this is the best senior services to over 100 different organizations. So it takes a lot of time and work. So I appreciate you, Barbara, for doing all of that. And then I just wanted to mention, the ceasefire agreement and 50 hostages released. They're doing a 50 hostage release from Israel. So they're doing 50 hostages, 1 Israeli hostage for every 3 Palestinian hostages, because there are over 5,000 Palestinian hostages also being held. So it's 1 for every 3. So 50 doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually is a lot to 250. And it's nice that we're able to release hostages on both sides. Thank you.
Thank you. But I want to add one thing. With this award, I want to make sure that one of the primary reasons that the Levy Center has been such a huge success, of course, is Linda, who is the director of the Levy Center. And I know how much time and effort she puts in. And I tell you one thing, seniors are not easy to work with. Okay, I keep on telling them about the bell curve. They go from 7 years old to where in their 50s they get up there and then they start going down, and by the time they're in their 70s, okay, they're like 7-year-olds again, okay? So, working with them is difficult.
No, Jerry's saying this as a senior, so it's okay. Say it as a senior.
I cannot exclude myself.
Not old.
And I sometimes am a petulant little 7-year-old, as you can see, very opinionated. But I'd like to thank Linda for all the time and effort that she has put in. Kudos, but there's no training. And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And I have to say, it's probably the shortest meeting we've had so far. Only 50 minutes.
That's okay.
Okay, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.